The buck came busting out of a patch of brush and headed straight toward my tree stand. Within seconds, he had crossed the field and was ready to jump a fence less than 5 feet from the base of my tree. He approached the sagging section of barbed wire. Then, just as I went to squeeze off the shot, clunk! The side of my rifle hit a limb. I panicked and fired a poor shot behind him. I never saw him again. Although I had scouted and mentally imagined shots I might take, still I was not prepared. The Bible tells us that most people will not be ready when Jesus Christ returns. It's not that people won't have plans. However, their plans will be short-sighted. Talking about his return, Jesus warned in Luke 17:26-27, "Just as it was in the days of Noah, so also will it be in the days of the Son of Man. People were eating, drinking, marrying, and being given in marriage up to the day Noah entered the ark. Then the flood came and destroyed them all." Let's plan for eternity. To learn more, visit ChristianDeerHunters.org. I was a 12-year-old deer hunter. The hills were steep and the brush was thick. It wasn't long before I was separated from my dad and brother. I was lost, standing in a hayfield on top of a hill. Eventually, I heard a tractor making its way up a logging road. The tractor, pulling a manure spreader with half a dozen hunters dressed in orange, stopped. One of the hunters walked up to me and asked,
"What is your name?"
Without hesitation,
"Thomas Jefferson,"
shot out of my mouth. Well, it was half true. My first name is Tom. I was surprised myself at the famous name I picked for my momentary new identity. The man in orange suggested, "Thomas Jefferson, get off his property." We humans have been lying from the beginning. Nevertheless, the Bible tells us in Hebrews 4:13, "Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of him to whom we must give an account." The good news is we can be forgiven. To learn more, visit ChristianDeerHunters.org. I parked my car, grabbed my rifle, and headed up the hill next to a weed-filled barnyard. When I returned 2 hours later, it seemed as if the buck waited for an opportune time before busting out of the tall, dried weeds. Although he was less than 50 feet away, he caught me so off guard I almost dropped my rifle. When I recovered, the buck was moving so fast and I was so shaken up, he had little to worry about. I got off a few shots as he continued to shrink in my open sights. Do you know that God often reveals himself to us in places, ways, and at times we do not expect? In Exodus 3, the Lord revealed himself to Moses through a burning bush on the backside of a desert. The prophet Elijah was used to seeing God work in dramatic ways, but on one occasion, God spoke to him through a still small voice. In Matthew 14, Jesus came to his disciples in the pre-dawn, walking on the water. How about you? How might God choose to speak to you today? Will you be ready? To learn more, visit ChristianDeerHunters.org.